to, again, if you did not stay up late last night, Nebraska and Georgetown play at 8:30 on Wednesday night in the quarterfinals of the Crown.
I know it's the Crown, and I know it's, the postseason tournament you don't want to be in, and it's not overly serious.
Spoken like a true marketer.
There is a part of me that I am kind of happy I do get to watch Nebraska play basketball tomorrow. Okay, I say that now in the pregame when they are down by 12 points at the end of the first half and have 9 turnovers and have missed 7 layups. Maybe I won't be as happy that I am watching that team, but currently right now in my state, I am a little bit I will say I am slightly excited I get to watch that team play basketball again.
One thing from, and this isn't new, but it just is reiterated when you watch a Nebraska team playing in Vegas. So the Nebraska brand is strong, and there are quite a few. I mean, the Las Vegans for Nebraska, I don't know if they still pay to put the games on the radio on a radio station out there, but there's quite a few of us.
Sure.
Bishop has done it more than I have that have gone out there to speak. And his first name was Gary. I believe he passed away, but he was in charge of the Las Vegans for Nebraska. And it was a huge group, but he would pay for, you go out there. Like one year I was out there with Johnny Rogers and you talk to all the Husker fans. So there are a lot of retirees from Nebraska that live out in Vegas. And there were probably there last night. And then there were people that, maybe basketball fans, they were just in the area and they're like, I'll go to a game.
Shout out, Chris.
Here's watching the Nebraska brand in Vegas always gets me to think of what would Nebraska do to go to Vegas and play?
Sure.
The only way they would do probably a football game would be either the bowl game or if the Big Ten had one year where they had the championship out there. They've already moved their media days out there. Will they go a step further and do their championship game in Vegas, take it out of Indianapolis? But it is interesting to see like places where the Nebraska brand is really strong. California is one place. They're already taking care of California with USC and UCLA in the Big Ten. Texas is a place, and I think they would like to get into Texas with more of their teams competing. But Vegas might be a market that is ideal for Nebraska athletics. Like, think big, volleyball. Think bigger. Nebraska finds their way into the Players Era Festival, which I don't know if there's, that door is blocked or whatever, but they've expanded to 32 teams. But the brand in Vegas for Nebraska has always been really strong, and that tournament benefited last night from having Nebraska play, and they get another day. Did they put the attendance in the box score?
I didn't see an attendance in the box score.
I mean, it looked like the crowd in that building looked like the same size crowd that for the Players Era Festival that had better teams back in November that Craig participated in.
I think, also too, and kind of just to take this into a macro college sports era, and maybe Nebraska doesn't fully need it as much as other teams do, but there is a benefit to traveling to other places and traveling to other cities and still showing that, hey, we have a brand out here, and hey, we have fans out here, and hey, we have people who can root for us out here. Because as we get further and further down the line of college sports, there are going to be teams that are left out of the party. There are going to be teams that may not be a part of this impending super league or whatnot. And so when you have a college and you're able to show off that there are so many different parts of the country that you can go to, and there are people who are going to show out for you, and you can exemplify your brand like that, people pay attention to it, right? And it's a way for the people who make decisions or people who look to invest in brands and stuff like that to be like, hey, they're more than just Lincoln, Nebraska. They're more than this just small town or small state. This is something that travels nationwide. And so I think that definitely does have to be a bit of a forward-thinking vision from Troy Dannon in the athletic department of where are the different places that we could go that we could show off, hey, this is more than just one state, that we are a not just national but global brand on top of that.
How do you guys think the Big Ten basketball tournament, men's basketball tournament, would do in Vegas?
I don't know. I struggle.
They've only won 3 national titles since '87. Not a basketball conference.
I struggle with that combo because I've always felt like the Big Ten Conference Championship is kind of like a team-based thing and a competitive-based thing in terms of attendance. Like, there are years where the United Center is packed and it looks great, and man, it's raucous, and it's an incredible venue. And then there are games at the United Center where it's empty.
Yep.
Where it's like, oh, this stadium is clearly way too big to be hosting a tournament like this.
But is Indianapolis and Chicago a destination, though, for Midwesterners? Because you more than likely go there for vacation.
Anyway.
So it doesn't make it special. The one thing, and I think this is what Jim Delaney was trying to do with the just failed exercise to put the Big Ten basketball tournament at MSG the week before the Big East, is you're thinking, okay, Midwesterners, New York City's a destination. When they went to D.C., it's a destination. Vegas, if I say, hey, let's go to Vegas and watch a week of basketball, instead of going, hey, let's go to Indianapolis and watch a week of basketball. And I think they do a great job. I think the Big Ten tournament in Indianapolis is fantastic. But if I said Vegas, aren't your cockles being warmed and you're like, hell yes?
I think for me, I mean, it can get expensive to go out to Vegas, obviously. And I do think it still kind of boils down to, in my opinion, how good is the team? If Nebraska was really, really good, or your team was really, really good, I think, oh my God, you would much rather go to Vegas than go to Indianapolis or Chicago. Now, if your team isn't that good and they're not going to be there for a long time, more than likely, I don't know if you're dropping that bag to do that. Here's one for you. It might be, I know that this city isn't synonymous with being Midwest, but neither is Vegas. I think Nashville would be an interesting location for a Big Ten tournament. Like Nashville itself, like Broadway, that strip, like that has become a place where a lot of people enjoy to go on vacation.
Big Ten?
For a Big Ten conference tournament. I just think that like Nashville's hot right now. A lot of people go on vacation. A lot of people like to party.
The SEC is not seeding
There's a
that.
problem.
Is the SEC there? Or?
Yeah, that's where the SEC
Oh,
is.
yeah, they're not going to seed Nashville.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
but
it was a good idea.
So when the Big Ten takes their media day to Vegas this summer, and they'll get a lot of attention. If just like the NFL, if the Big Ten thinks they can make money off of an event in Vegas, they're going to a Vegas eventually, because now all the guardrails are off about gambling. People are going into Vegas. If they can make money, the Big Ten will find a way to put something in Vegas. I mean, let's think about it. Fortunately, they've expanded the agreement between the Big Ten and Omaha for the baseball, but your best baseball teams are kind of on the West Coast.
Yeah.
What about when they open up the new A's stadium, if they ever do, the Big Ten baseball tournament going to Vegas eventually? Because the football and the men's basketball are prime property, so you got to be careful. But baseball would be one of those, out to Vegas in a major league stadium, appease the folks on the West Coast.
I don't think you can move the football game. I think the football game forever is going to have to be in the Midwest, whether it be in Lucas Oil Stadium or somewhere around that area. I think basketball, I think you can easily move it. I think there would be a lot of people probably mad in the Indianapolis area that enjoy having that tournament, enjoy having that economic boost. But at the same time, I do think that in terms of just from an event perspective, you would much rather go to a Big Ten tournament event in Vegas than you would at Indy. And I think that there is a benefit for the Big Ten to do that. The baseball tournament, it kind of boils down to, wow, you are catering to a lot of, to a very small proportion of your baseball conference. And I don't know how happy, especially the East Coast teams would be, especially if they're very good, that they got to go all the way out to the West Coast to play a very important tournament. At the same time,
don't they already go out past Vegas to play an important series?
Well, yes, but it's a little bit different though, because if that's one series, right? This is the Big Ten baseball tournament where if you're going to make the NCAA tournament, I mean, you have to win this tournament. I mean, there are bids on the line, right? When you do the one series, yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but it's only, 3 games, and it's still inconsequential to your regular season, but it doesn't determine the postseason nearly as much as what a Vegas, or a Big Ten tournament would. At the same time, they're just the baseball, like Big Ten baseball, like I just don't think people are clutching on to it being in the Midwest and it being there. So I think that is a good, I really do think it would be a good area to experiment with. And I do think that you would get more people interested that may not be diehard Big Ten baseball fans who would actually attend to that, which is an important, population to grab.
Fremont Fred says Fremont is a destination. Could you host where the Moos play?
Very drivable for Husker fans, so that could benefit well.
There would be some people, though, that would be ticked off because it might be too much of an advantage, more of an advantage than it is in Omaha, is being in Fremont in that ballpark. Somebody was telling me, by the way, a great meat spot in Fremont.
Oh,
I know this
I'm
is
listening.
not a joke. This is not April Fool's. Somebody yesterday was raving about a meat spot in Fremont that I've never heard of. They said their corned beef is unbelievable. They slice it right there.
Oh,
and
my God.
I'm like, you know what? I got a friend who, if anybody knows about the meat in Fremont, it would be Fred.
Yeah.
So I will ask him.
Corned beef, when done correctly, unmessable with. I mean, can't beat it.
We have a addition to the program from yesterday, not concerning Jacob Bigelow.
Oh, okay.
Travis, who is for people, we do not get Channel 4 here in Omaha, but I believe that Channel 4 out of Hastings is part of the Lincoln Cable. Is that right?
I don't know.
You know what? Come to think of it, I think my in-laws have those.
So
channels.
Travis Klinecki, who is a longtime meteorologist there, great guy, great follow on Twitter, by the way, at Travis_KLANECKY. Loves 1620 The Zone. He heard us talking about Adam Lefkoe yesterday.
Yeah.
And so he DM'd me. He said, after he graduated from Syracuse,
I just guessed.
He worked in Hastings.
Wait, I knew this. My wife looked this up a couple years ago. Because is it Hastings? Like the one in Nebraska or the one that used to sell videos and stuff?
I did not know that, but
Is that in Minnesota?
I thought they had them in Nebraska. No,
well,
they
have a Hastings, Nebraska. They also have a Hastings, Minnesota.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're talking about a porn shop?
No, just it was like Blockbuster.
Well, kind of like if you go
I mean that was Movie Gallery.
If you go behind the curtain, they had the porn movies at Blockbuster.
I wouldn't know. I didn't. Wasn't part of that era, unfortunately. I feel like I would have enjoyed that though.
You enjoy some good porn?
Yeah, why not?
When done correctly,
well, let me
unmessable.
There's probably, I wouldn't say why not. You know what? Hey, if you're hey, if you got a good connection and it's streaming well, and you got surround sound, hey, for your perspective, you're like, hey, why not?
Some people hit up GMA in the morning.
Got a lazy boy for a reason.
Hey, there's a workaround of all the limitations in the state of Nebraska to look at porn.
And I found them. So anyway, but back to Adam Lefkoe.
Who are you? You gamble and you watch porn. You're a normal person.
I'm a true degenerate. And the funny thing is that I have $10 in free play today, so I'm going to the Warhorse Casino.